Hey guys, welcome back. This is By the Book, and we are your married relationship coaches. Today, this will be our second surprise topic. That's why I'm wearing the same clothes. I don't laugh. And I got this big bush of hair on my head. We're doing more than one video today.
Yeah.
Anyhow, my husband has a surprise topic for me again because he thinks this is fun.
Yes.
And I'm waiting to hear what it is.
The surprise topic that my wife has not heard is, are women in the dating pool, are they being realistic with the man that they can get? For example, if you are a woman who, let's just say you got 4 or 5 kids, and maybe you're, as far as what you're earning right about now, maybe like you're only earning maybe like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, but yet you set your sights upon someone who is making 6 figures or more, and you think that this is the type of man that you can get and that you will get, whatever the case. So are women being realistic with what they can get as far as in the dating pool is concerned? That's my question. Are they being realistic? Tell me, baby. Are women being realistic with the tiered man that they're going after? Yeah.
Yes and no. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. No, I mean that's a legitimate question. It's a difficult question to answer, and I think the answer to that is individual for each woman, and it hinges upon how important is it that she gets a man, and in what time frame, and is never okay. Because I think it's very important. I can't stress this enough, and I know you and I have talked about this privately many times over. I think it's important for women to get a sense of it's okay to be single if I'm not getting what I want out of a relationship. And I think so many of us have been conditioned to believe that we have to seek relationships, we have to be in relationships to be validated, and we're not good enough, or we're not as good as the married woman, our married counterpart. And I just don't think that that's healthy. I think in this climate where I've heard many men quote this statistic, I am not going to tell you whether or not it's true. I'm a very triggered person when people give me random statistics that I can't verify. But the random statistic that's been floating out there is that 1 in 4 Black women will get married in their lifetime. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it's even close to true.
Let me, before you go any further,
He gonna ask me the question I can't even answer. Go ahead.
All right. Do you think whether you can validate that statistic or not from your own perspective? Do you see more Black women single than what you see the white counterparts?
Ooh, now yes, I do, but I wasn't really comparing Black women to white women.
Yeah.
Because I know way, 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 way more Black women than I know white women, so it's not really a fair assessment for me to make.
Okay.
Unfortunately. But it seems, just upon a glance that that's correct. It seems like there are more married white women than Black women. I could be wrong. Probably not wrong. Yeah. But I think that just holding our society in its own bubble, saying Black women compared to nobody else but other Black women. If only 1 in 4 of us, or even anything remotely close, if 1 in 3 of us is getting married in our lifetime, then maybe we need to rethink what our priorities are. Because that means whether you're trying hard or not, whether you're a 10 or not, whether you're educated or not, you still have a low chance of getting married. And why is that? That's probably because our men are not so marriage minded. And if that's the case, one thing you can't do, you could do very many things, but you can't force somebody to marry you. So you have to rethink about like what's important, what you want to prioritize. Is a family worth prioritizing? Yeah, but maybe that looks a little untraditional.
Yeah. Well,
maybe you need to start thinking about freezing your eggs and having babies by yourself.
Yeah. Well, our men may be slow as far as being marriage minded, but not slow at making babies or having sex. And so it would have to, hey, you know what? That whole mindset, that whole thing would have to like have a paradigm shift, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And we're far away from that. So I was trying to stick to the question that was posed.
That's true.
So, are women being realistic? Some aren't, honestly, because some. Let's start with the premise that marriage is the goal, and
it should be the goal. It should be the ultimate goal, I think.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No. But that's okay. And the reasons that I just set forth a minute ago are the reasons why. Because it's something that may or may not be ascertainable for everybody.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, then you don't want to make that a measure of your life's success or your life's worth or value if it's something that just may be out of reach for one reason or another. Everybody can't be in the top 25%, right? So I don't want to shame women or make them feel any more than if they are married or less than if they aren't, or if they don't choose to get married. I think that's okay. But if we just focus off the premise that marriage is the goal, or having a happy or successful relationship even is the goal, then I think we do have to stay in our lane. We highly value being treated with equality and things like that. And I think one of the things that you're going to see with men who seem to be unequal to you, in whether it's a financial way or a physical way or whatever the case may be, you may not be treated with the same level of respect that you would with somebody who was in your lane. So yes, that woman who's making $30,000 a year and she's seeking someone who's a six-figure guy, you could come across a unicorn that wants to rescue you and, bring you up. There's plenty of guys like that. I mean, maybe not plenty, but there are some guys like that. And depending upon how they value you as a person, they may be willing to reach down and help lift you up to that level or rescue you, as it were, whatever the case may be. But there are many, 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 many guys who won't do that. And if they do find you to be arm candy enough to say, hey, she's not a, what do you say, high value woman.
Yeah.
We've been talking about high value men, but if she's not a high wage earner or something, she's not on my level financially or intellectually to get on my level, but I will date her and I'll have sex with her because she's very, very attractive. But that doesn't mean that he's going to treat you with the respect that you may deserve and that you might even try to demand, because you're not in a position necessarily to demand it. If you guys live in a house together and somebody's got to move, it's going to be you, because why? You can't afford the mortgage. He's a six-figure man. That mortgage does $4,000 a month. You don't make $4,000 a month. So there's no possibility for you to be the person who stays in that home. So you have to be careful, with things like that, because when you're so far apart from one another, it could put you in a bad spot if you don't like how you're being treated. You said something about women with a bunch of kids. Did you say them trying to match up with guys who don't have kids? I think
that was an example.
Okay.
I mean, when we're talking about the high value men, from what I'm told, high value man is not really interested in women with kids, and so that's a disqualifier for these so-called high value men. And I agree with everything that you said, except for marriage not being the goal. I think our women specifically deserve a higher level of commitment. than what they have been getting. And so the ultimate commitment, I can't think of a higher commitment than someone standing before your friends and before God, saying that I choose you on this day and I will continue to choose you for the rest of my life. I don't think there's a higher commitment than that. And so I think our women deserve it. I think our women have been through hell and back again, with men that have been treated them, unfairly, unjustly, have abused them, not only with their hands, but with their tongue. And so I do think that our women, a lot of this different type of things that are happening right now, the breakdown between the black man and the black woman, and all of this different type of stuff that I see happening, the high value woman versus the modern woman, the high value man versus the modern woman, a lot of the stuff that is happening, I think goes back to just us going against one another instead of trying to figure out how we can be together and be together successfully.
Yeah.
And so I think, again, our women deserve that. Hell, y'all deserve it. You deserve it.
But we're far away from that. And the question that you first posed to me was whether or not, I believe this was a question, whether or not women are being realistic.
Yes.
And I'm big on realism. I think realism is very important.
Yes.
And along with that comes the prospect of getting married or not. And so while I believe that our women deserve to be married, and that would be great in a kumbaya society, we're not in one. The reality is that our men have valued themselves greater than the women, and women are now in some sort of an odd competition with one another to get these few men, relatively few men that are available to them.
Yeah.
To the point that we diminish our value even more. So being realistic in that society means that you may not get married, and you have to understand that it's okay if you don't.
Okay, I get your point. I get your point. But how about the way I phrase the question though? Are you being realistic with the type of man that you can get? Maybe you cannot get that 6-figure earner, but you can get a $40,000 earner. Yeah. If you're looking for specific financial things, and so so maybe you can get that, and you can get someone who's going to be more set to be more faithful to you as well. Someone who's going to take more care of you, be more attentive, to you, and things of that sort.
Here's what I'm going to say to that. And this is a drop mic moment for you. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, it's going to become more and more vitally important for us as women to decide and to be able to decipher what is a need and what is a want.
Ooh, say it. Okay.
So if I hear so many wants and they are of no substance, how tall this man has to be, the exact dollar amount that he has to make. These are wants. And they're fine to be wants. And you are entitled to have wants. But wants are not deal breakers. Wants are wants. Wants are things that you can strive for. Although you can't change a man's height, you can change his income. He can change his income. So if you get with somebody and you want them to make more money, you help them make more money. You guys think about it and then figure out a way. Things that you need a man who's equally yoked to you spiritually. You might really need that.
Preach, baby. Preach, baby.
You need a man who respects you, who's not going to abuse you, who's going to be faithful to you, who's going to value you and make you feel like you have value. These are things that you need. And the messed up thing about us, lady, is that those are the things that we're treating like wants. And we're sacrificing them. So we're being disrespected routinely. We're being cheated on routinely we're being talked down to routinely, and we're acting like this is okay. Like, that's something I can waver on.
Mm-hmm.
But he makes a lot of money. You got it flipped upside down if that's the way your priorities are.
Mm-hmm.
So being realistic in this situation is identifying. Sit down with yourself and identify what your needs are and separate them from your wants. Write them down on the sheet of paper, and when you start ruling people out, rule them out based upon what's in your needs column.
Amen. I thought I was the preacher. All right. My wife answered that question. I love that. When she brought that thing on home, that was a drop the mic moment. All right. I'm good with that. All
and
right,
that's all I have to say about that.
All right. You can take us on home, baby. I love that.
All right, guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell us what your needs versus your wants are. I got my list. He checked most of my boxes. But anyway, guys, we will talk to you soon. We're going to get out of here for tonight. Take care.
Bye.